and welcome to our 19th edition of The Edge, the second AM Takeover edition. I'm Van Wilder.
And I'm Kayleigh Gourieux. On this edition of The Edge, the first-year students get a chance to take over The Edge.
The Agri-Science plant sales makes record sales this year.
And in construction, we will show you the cozy cabins are still available for purchase. But first we head to the Windy City. Our digital media arts class returned from Chicago on Friday, May 9th. We had a whirlwind of 3-day fun-filled trip. Our own Montanna Eads has the story.
On May 7th, 22 digital media arts students, including me, headed to Chicago on the train. Students were able to explore the streets of Chicago, going to Navy Pier, Ed DeBono's for dinner, finding their ways out of an escape room, and learning about the history of Chicago on a boat cruise.
Well, my favorite part of the trip is probably the diner. I had a pretty good time at the diner.
Why is that?
Napkins. Just straight napkins. Some salt.
Trip.
This trip's pretty amazing. You know, I love Chicago, favorite city. You know, very excited for the boat. I mean, water's fun. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna look at buildings and we're gonna go along the water. I'm not entirely the best swimmer, so hopefully something doesn't go wrong.
My favorite part of the Columbia tour was probably going into the broadcasting room because I want to be a broadcaster. So seeing like all like the whole setup, like the cameras that they use that are very expensive, it was pretty cool.
Students loved the trip and were able to experience new things like exploring Millennium Park, traveling on a train, and even trying new foods like Chicago deep dish pizza. We explored the city. Many used public transportation for the first time. We toured an urban university and had little, maybe a lot of fun. Reporting for The Edge, I'm Montanna Eads.
I can't speak for the rest of the class, but I know that that trip made me feel like I was the king of the world. If you know, you know.
While we were in Chicago, 3 ITnet students were in Orlando competing at the Business Professionals of America National Convention. Students competed in cybersecurity, C++ programming, and Linux. Students had to place at local, regional, and state event to have a chance to compete in Orlando. Sydney Ball from Imlay City competed in cybersecurity contest as a junior.
I'm going to be doing like testing and such, like bubble-ins, sort of like the SATs. It's all on cybersecurity and gives me scenarios and stuff. I got tests from the previous year, and I've been just practicing over and over them.
Senior Blade Ohms of Lapeer placed in the top 10 in the nation. This was his second time at Nationals and first time making it to the stage to receive a medal. Congratulations, Blade. The annual Agri-Science plant sale is the class's biggest fundraiser.
The sale happens every year in May, but the students start preparations for it as early as February. The Edge's McComb has a story.
In Agri-Science, students have been busy planning their annual plant sale since the beginning of the school year.
It took a while, and it was a fun process. We learned how to keep them growing, what type of soil, what to use in the soil to keep them hydrated, all this different type of stuff. We got to learn new things. It was definitely something.
Agri-Science was kept busy for months making sure they were ready for the sale, which is a big fundraiser for their program.
A lot of our hours were just set towards potting plants, debudding, and just like a lot, like we made signs and everything. And it was just a lot of removing and filling. The money is going towards the FFA and just this classroom to provide us with extra money to help us buy the things that we need to learn in this class, and just for us to just be prepared if anything happens, we have the extra money to provide.
Plants in the sale include plug geraniums, crabgrass, hydrangeas, and more. The prices range from $5 to $25. The plant sale takes place the first 3 Saturdays in May. Reporting for The Edge, I'm McComb.
This year's sale was so successful that it only ran for the first Saturday. They sold out, selling over $16,000 of plants in one day.
In construction, the Cozy Cabin's second-year students have been working on are up for sale. The Edge's Brandon Bruce takes a closer look at this new project.
Students in construction have been working on a project called the Cozy Cabins. They've been working on the project since early October. Normally they build a house, but this year they decided to do something different.
So we decided as a group, normally we build a 1,500 square foot house. We couldn't do it because it was still sitting here, it hadn't moved. So we couldn't do the big house because it was still sitting on our platform out here. So we decided together what could be an alternative, and all the students still got the same experience of building the same house. They're just miniature, right? And they are for sale in the community right now.
As a class, students came together to decide what the looks of the Cozy Cabins would be.
And they decided their colors for the exterior, their siding colors, their roofing colors, their drip edge, their trim work, stuff like that. So they as a group had to kind of work together on that and gave them some ownership over the project, as opposed to building it for an existing homeowner in the community, like the big house. So that was probably one of my favorite parts, was seeing them come together. The other fun part is when they start to stand the walls up, put the roof on, starts to look like something. So that's when it really starts to feel good to me.
If you want to buy a Cozy Cabin, contact Mr. Butts at jbutts@lapeerisd.org or call 624-1124, extension 4140. The cost for the Cozy Cabins is around $4,800 and $600 to move them. All profits go right back into the program. Reporting for The Edge, I'm Brandon Bruce.
As Brandon said, there are still some cabins available. If you're interested in purchasing a cabin, please call the Ed Tech Center and ask for Mr. Butts. That's all for this AM Takeover edition of The Edge.
Thank you so much for watching. You can keep up with us on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and TikTok at The Edge LC.
And we are looking forward to next year as we officially take over the Edge crew. I'm Kaeleigh Gourieux.
And I'm Van Wilder. Signing off until next year, stay safe and have a great summer.